So tell me what really happened.
So I was talking to my servant Ronaldo. He's a bit slow, but he can be helpful with the right amount of guidance, you know?
Well,
You get it. So anyways, I was talking to Ronaldo about giving Laertes some money and papers while he was in Paris. But then I figured, why not ask Ronaldo to keep an eye on him too? Give him this money and these notes, good Ronaldo.
I will, my lord.
Very good. You shall do marvelous wisely, good Ronaldo. And before you visit him, do inquire of his behavior.
My lord, I didn't intend it.
Very well said. Very well said. Look you, inquire me first what danskers are in Paris, and how and who and what means, and where they keep, what company at what expense. And finding by this encompassment and drift of question that they do know my son, come you more nearer, then your particular demands will touch it. Take you as 'twere some distant knowledge of him, and thus I know his father and his friends, and in part him.
And what did you want Ronaldo to say to your son's friends?
Well, I actually had quite a brilliant plan, if I do say so myself. So Ronaldo will go about talking about my son's misdeeds, gambling, visiting prostitutes and the like. And then, this is the truly brilliant part, he would watch for everyone's reaction.
How would...
That way, he would be able to tell what my son is really up to. I'm a pretty great father.
I wouldn't necessarily call that brilliant, actually.
Well, I would. I wouldn't expect someone like yourself to understand. My mind works too quickly. My servant had trouble understanding at first, too. Me, sir, here's my drift, and I believe it is a fetch of wit. You lend these light sallies on my son. Mark you, your party and perverse him you would sound, having ever seen the predominant crimes youth breathe of guilty, be assured he closes with you in this consequence. Good sir, or friend, or gentleman, according to the phase or addition of man and country.
Very good, my lord.
Where was I? And then, sir, does he this? He does, what was I about to say?
Closes in the...
That closes in the consequence. That closes in the consequences. I marry. Then he closes thus. I know the gentleman. I saw him yesterday, or the other day, or then again, or such and such. And as you say, there he was a-gaming. They're overtook and aroused. They're falling out of tennis. So you know, your bait of falsehood takes this card of truth. And thus, we of wisdom reach, by indirections, find out directions. So, by my former lecture and advice, shall you, my son, you have me, have you not?
My lord, I have.
God be with you, fare you well.
Oh, my lord is very well... dim-witted is the word I would use, sir.
Tell me what he said to you.
And in part him, but you may say, not well, but if you be, I mean, he is very wild, addicted, so and so. And there put him on what forgeries you may please, marry none so rank as may dishonor him, take heed of that. But sir, such wanton, wild, and usual slips are companion, and most known to youth and liberty.
As gaming, my lord.
Aye, as drinking and gaming and fencing and swearing, quarreling, traveling, you may go so far.
My lord, that would dishonor him. He had this dumb plan into tricking people to talk about Laertes. I mean, it didn't even make sense. What kind of father would do that? But I had to humor him or lose my job.
Did he give you any more instructions?
He tried to.
According to the phrase or the addition of man and country.
Good, my lord.
And then, sir, does he this? He does. What was I about to say? Where did I leave?
And closes with the consequence. It went on like that for several minutes. I mean, come on, really?
By the mass, I was about to say something. What was it?
Sir.
Closes in the consequence. He closes thus.
He's a trying boss, but I can't complain. I took the money and left.
So after Ronaldo left my chambers, Ophelia came rushing in. I could tell she was in desperate need of her father's help. I tend to be a constant comfort to my children. Once Laertes even...
Yeah, so why did Ophelia rush into your chambers?
Oh, right, Ophelia. What's the matter, my dear Ophelia?
Oh, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
By what in the name of God?
As I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all embraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, ungartered, and downgied to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking together, and with a look so piteous in purport as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
That's very well.
I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
Ophelia obviously wasn't in the best state. She was a mess. Our young Prince Hamlet was so driven into madness by his intense love for Ophelia. You see, I know a lot about love. It's kind of like...
Okay, what happened next?
Come, go now with me. We will seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property fordoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings. What, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I repelled his fetters and denied his access to me.
And that hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better head and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared but did trifle, that he meant to wreck you, but beshrew my jealousy.
So tell me what happened. Or don't. Is everything alright?
How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
My lord, I have been so frightened.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all embraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, ungartered, downgied to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking together, and with a look so piteous in purport as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, comes before me.
Mad for they love?
I do not know, but I do fear it.
You must explain.
Well, he grabbed me.
You let him touch you?
No! I did as you commanded.
We must tell the king.
Ophelia? Hey, no one else is listening. Whenever you're ready, you can tell me.
I can explain.
Yes, of course.
It's my fault.
Great tragedy, yes. Our brother was a special man. As his brother, it would only made sense that we were the ones to fulfill his place, to take his duties as husband and king and father.
I asked you what you said of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern when they
Rosencrantz and
arrived.
Guildenstern. Oh, yes. Yes.
I just
You
want to know what
recall.
happened.
Of course, we welcome the two lads with open arms. Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so call it. Tis nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was what it should be more than his father's death, that thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself. I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that being of so young days brought up with him, you vouchsafe for the rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasion as you may glean, whether aught to us known afflicts him thus. That open lies within our remedy.
You asked them here because...
We asked them here out of concern for their school friend, our recent son Hamlet. He's not well, not himself, not at all.
And why is Hamlet so...
Because of his father's death, we don't really know, and how can you expect us to?
Well, did you spend a lot of time with Hamlet before? Before his father died? Before you married his mother?
What?
Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, can you start from the beginning?
Well, we've known Hamlet since we were boys.
Yeah.
So of course the king called us in. Is that what you mean by beginning?
No, when the king and queen called you to Elsinore.
Oh, of course. Yes, of course. Well, we've known Hamlet for so long, and Hamlet's been acting so strange, so...
I mean, understandably, he was acting mad.
Yeah, like, he needed us to come in and figure out what was going on with him.
And entertain him to get his mind off of it.
So, of course we accepted, because, duh, it's the king.
We do anything for his majesty.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am, to men there are not living, to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to show us much of gentry and goodwill, as to expend your time with us a while, for the supply and profit of our home, your visitation shall receive such things as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties might by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into the command.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full text, to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz, and I beseech you instantly to visit my too much charged son. Go, some of you, and bring these gentlemen where Hamlet is.
Heaven save our presence and our practices, pleasant and helpful to him.
Amen. Amen.
So, Polonius? Pardon?
Our apologies. Polonius. We don't know what we would do without him.
The ambassadors from Northway, my good lord, and joyfully returned.
Thou still have been the father of good news.
Have I, my lord? I assure my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul. I do think, or else this brain of mine, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that I do long to hear.
Give first admittance to the ambassadors. This news shall be the great fruit to this feast.
Thyself do grace them to me, and bring them in. He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he hath found the head and source of all your distemper.
His father's death and our overhasty marriage.
Well, we shall sift him. And sift him we did.
And what did you think was the cause of Hamlet's madness?
Well, thanks to my investigative acumen, I immediately knew the cause of Hamlet's madness after talking to my daughter.
So, what was it?
Well, I explained it eloquently and concisely to the king and queen. I even brought a letter for evidence. I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad at college. To define true mad, what is it but nothing else but mad? I have a daughter who in her duty and obedience has given me this. Gather and surmise.
But how has she received his love? It is trying work to get a straight answer from Polonius.
So why is it so important?
Did you hear the contents of that letter? Hamlet is in love with Ophelia. This is great news.
Why are you happy about this?
Because now we finally know the source of his condition.
What did you think that Ophelia should do?
I'm an excellent
Yes,
father. And more importantly, I am a great guy. I'm honorable, I work hard at my job, and
Wait, what's your job?
Well, after I showed the king and queen the letter, they knew I alone had discovered the source of Hamlet's madness.
Okay, so what was your plan?
It was brilliant.
But how has she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As a man, faithful and humble.
What might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress, thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince, out of thy star, just must not be. And then I precepts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort. Admit no messengers, receive no tokens. Which done, she took the fruit of my advice, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into sadness, then into madness, wherein now he raves, as all we mourn for.
Do you think this?
It may be very light.
How would we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks for hours here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll lose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arista. Mark the encounter. If he loves her not, and be not from his reason, let me no assistance for a
We just hope he can prove his claim.
You hope he can prove it? Why do you want him to be crazy about Ophelia?
Well, we can't change my brother's death. Hamlet needs to accept that. But at least we can do something about him and Ophelia.
But what if it is his father's death that's upsetting Hamlet?
It was quite regrettable, a tragedy. But there's nothing we can do. It's quite common for fathers to die, you know. He's a new father now.
My father told me that I was the reason that Hamlet was acting so mad. And then I heard them talking to the king.
What were they talking about?
My father read Hamlet's letter to the king, and they made a plan to spy on Hamlet. They wanted to use me to prove I was the cause of his madness.
At such a time, I'll lose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind Ariston's then. Mark the encounter. If you love her not, and be from his reason fallen therein, let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm in Carter's.
We will try it.
Let me tell you, when I saw Hamlet, he was acting head over heels about my daughter.
What do you mean?
He called me a fishmonger! A fishmonger! Do I look like a fishmonger? He's definitely out of his mind. Then he asked if I had a daughter. Like he doesn't know. Then he had the audacity to tell me that conception is a blessing and my daughter may conceive. What is that supposed to mean?
Well, God have mercy!
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Well, then I would you, so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir, to be honest. As this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That is very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a god-kissing carrion, have you a daughter?
Yeah, I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. What do you read, my lord? What do you read?
Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
I mean, the matter that you... Oh.
I mean, the matter that you read, my lord.
Between who?
I mean, the matter that you read, my lord.
Center, sir, for the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, that their eyes purge in thick amber and plum tree gum, that they have plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands, all which, sir, though I most powerfully and totally believe, yet I hold it not honestly to have it thus set down for yourself, sir, which, be old as I am, if, like a crab, you could go backward.
Though this be madness, yet there's a method in it. Will you walk out in the air, my lord?
Into my grave!
Indeed, that is out into the air. How pregnant his replies are. A happiness that often madness hits on, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously have delivered on. I will leave him and suddenly contrive the means of meeting him and my daughter. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part with all. Except my life. Accept my life.
Fare you well, my lord. I mean, I've been in love before. I know how it goes. But Hamlet takes it to another level. He started insulting me, something that how old I am? A little below the belt, don't you think? I had to get him out of there. So I had Rosencrantz and Guildenstern go talk to him.
Tell me about your conversation with Polonius.
I knew he was spying for my uncle, but he's not that bright, so I just tried to confuse him.
What did you say to him?
Will you walk out in the air with me?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out into the air. How pregnant! Sometimes his replies are a happiness that often madness hits on, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously be delivered on. I will leave him and suddenly contrive the means of meeting him and my daughter. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take anything from me that I will not more willingly part with all. Except my life, except my life, except my life.
Then he sent Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to talk to me. They're my school friends.
Well, what did they say to you?
Well, they're working for my uncle too.
My honored lord.
My most dear lord.
My excellent good friends, how dost thou, Guildenstern? Rosencrantz, good lads, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. On fortune's cap we are not too very, but
Nor the soles of her shoes.
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her veils.
private's her. Faithfully her private's we.
In the secret parts of fortune. Oh, most true, she is a strumpet. What's the news?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near, but your news is not true. But in the beaten way of friendship, what makes you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Beggar that I am ever poor in thanks, but I thank you, sure, dear friends. My thanks are too dear a halfpenny. Were you not sent for? Is it not your own inclining? Is it free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come. Then speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there's a kind of confession in your looks, which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship, by the constancy of our youth, by the obligation of our ever-preserved love, and by what more a dear, better purposer could charge you with all, be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no. Nay, then, I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
They thought I couldn't tell. I knew they were only spying on me for the king's money, so I babbled on to confuse them.
Shall tell you why, so shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen molds no feather. Have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, foregone all custom of exercise, and indeed it goes so wearily with my disposition that this goodly frame, this earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. Why? It appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man, and how noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, the beauty of the world, and yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me, no, nor woman neither, though by your smiling seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man not delights me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you, we coded them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
He that plays the king shall be welcome. His majesty shall have tribute of me. What players are they?
When I got back, Hamlet was still acting crazy, but the players were a welcome distraction.
How did Hamlet react to the players?
Oh, he was happy to see them. He went on and on reenacting a speech. Honestly, it was a bit too dramatic for me, and so long.
Anon he finds him striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious in his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command, unequal match. Pyrrhus at Priam drives, its rage strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, The unnerved father falls, the seamless illusion. Oh, the senseless Elium, seeming to feel this blow with flaming top, stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash, takes prisoner Pyrrhus,
Hamlet greeted the players and then he seemed totally normal again, reenacting the speech with one of them like nothing was wrong.
Hamlet's a strange one for sure. I get why the king asked us to come.
As usual, I was right. I know Hamlet is just infatuated with my daughter, and I'm the only one who can do anything about it.
Yeah, but don't you think
You'll
we should...
see. You'll see.
It was after Rosencrantz of Guildenstern and Polonius left that I told the player my idea.
What was that?
I asked if they could play the murder of Gonzaga with some new lines.
Why?
You'll see, but I can't even begin to tell you how bad I felt about myself as a son after watching that player. I promise you, I love my father. All I want is for his death to be avenged. I don't know why I can't follow through with it. The player began to cry while he was acting. I can't even be prompted by my actual emotions. I'm such a coward. I feel so guilty. But I have a plan. The players will act out a murder like that of my father. If my uncle acts guilty while watching, it was him. Then I can act.
But please, the thing.
In which I'll catch the conscience of the king.